In the transverse vibration of a string, we basically assume that a string which is clamped at both ends like this, and in that we basically formulated the equilibrium equation, the governing equation of motion for that string, that was in the form of partial differential equation, and then we carried out its free vibration response. So we assume this string and some force is being applied, which is represented by a continuous function both in space and time, and we formulated its equilibrium equation. Then we basically make the applied force equal to 0 to calculate the free vibration response, and while doing so we derived the equation for the natural frequency of that string and the mode shapes of that string. We came to know that there are infinite natural frequencies possible for this string, because it is an infinite degrees of freedom system, and corresponding to each natural frequency there is a mode shape associated with that. So there are infinite mode shapes possible for this string. So that natural frequency expression which we have derived was this one, and that was using the theory of continuous structures. So omega n, where n is the number of mode, is equal to n times pi over L, where L is the length of the string, square root of T over M, where T is the tension in the string and M is the mass of that string. The mode shape equation which we derived is this one, that any nth mode shape phi n, it will be a mode shape function, will be equal to some constant c sine n pi x over L for any n 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. So there are infinite mode shapes and infinite natural frequencies given by these two equations. If we plot these mode shapes, we get, for example, for different values of n, we can plot them and we get these mode shapes phi1, phi2 and phi3, for example, and corresponding to that we have three omega 1, omega 2 and omega 3 natural frequencies. I just wanted to highlight one physical, you can say, interpretation of the natural frequency equation, this one, which we have derived using the theory of continuous structures. So we have derived that omega n is equal to n pi by L under root T over M. This is the natural frequency equation for a string having both ends fixed. So I just want to give you an example of, for example, if you have a guitar and it has maybe this kind of a instrument where you have several strings, maybe like this, okay, and different strings, they may have different thicknesses, and you know already that what you do actually is that you have screws here where you actually you can change the tension in those strings, and different strings have different thicknesses also. So when you are basically tuning, you are actually changing the tension in those strings. Different strings, if they are tuned equally, if they have same tension, but still they will produce different notes, and this is because their mass is different. So the thickness of each string is different and therefore their mass is different. So each string is going to have a different omega value. And when you want to produce different notes, in that case you have actually just press at different locations along the length of these strings. And what you are essentially doing by just pressing these strings is that you are changing this length. So by changing this length, you are changing the omega values in real time, and which is resulting in basically different notes or different sounds which you want to produce. So this is one interesting example of how you can just relate what you have just derived in your dynamics of continuous structures with something real application. So all three things which are in your hand, you are just allowed to change to just control this omega. so that you should be able to produce different notes and different sounds which you want to produce.